Smithsonian Anacostia Community Museum presents the following audio interview with Antonio Gonzalez, Parks Not Warehouses. He worked as president of the William C. Velasquez Institute and mother organization Southwest Voter Registration Education Project. The narrative is overlaid with photos illustrating the landscape and events described.
Environmental justice is really the wrong word. Most ways we're like taking the reins of power and re-envisioning the natural and built environments where we have power. And we know environmental constituencies are important just from a politics point of view in the 90s, and we're interacting with them, but it's really not till the end of the 1990s when there are really pretty spontaneous urban rebellions in Los Angeles against the redevelopment of two gigantic brownfields in the heart of the urban community. Now the Parque del Rio de Los Angeles and the Los Angeles State Historic Park, they were rail yards, one 50 acres, one 30 acres. It's pretty intense resistance to developers, supported by Latino elected officials who are sort of in the old school, which is environment is not our issue. And there is a community resistance to plans to develop both of those sites, and we get involved with that. We're in these communities. They should be parks, not warehouses. And after a couple of years, by about 2002, big voter mobilizations around water bonds, and we sort of connect the dots. And by 2004, the whole LA River movement has begun to crystallize. 2004, I'm in the middle of a presidential mobilization, very busy, and a delegation of Irma Munoz, Robert Garcia from the City Project, and Raul Macias from Anahuac show up in my office, and they say, we're getting rolled on the LA River. We're getting excluded, the city's running over us, our voices aren't being heard, they're having meetings without us in attendance, they're not in the community. The white boys are doing it again, put it bluntly, right? And they've got some Latino allies, and we need to stop it. It was a river revitalization plan. It's being developed, and it's not taking our interests into account. By coincidence, we've just crystallized a partnership with the Earth Day Network to run a national partnership between the Earth Day Network, the NAACP National Voter Fund, to do the first ever sort of people of color green vote campaign. It was called Campaign for Communities. So it all sort of bubbles up together. We are also carrying out an accountability effort, the city fathers in Los Angeles, for running this traditional, elitist, techno-green revitalization planning process that excludes Asians and Latinos, and it's monolingual, and meetings are at 11 o'clock in the morning and not in the evening, and excludes active recreation, and it's a nasty fight. We are sitting in at meetings and protesting, and so that was it. There was a particular target at that time. It was the Annenberg. One of the Annenberg Foundation heirs had, in essence, privately expropriated the cornfield for an art project without community input. It took over the whole project, planted a cornfield. Within 6 months, we'd got them to, recalibrate and be more expansive and open with the planning process.